Matheus Cunha is officially a Manchester United player, and Brian Mbeumo is set to be officially a Manchester United player very soon. The deal is basically complete, pending some final details, medical, etc. And if you'd have asked me 2 months ago, before we even knew that we were going to get Cunha and Mbeumo, if I could pick two realistic attacking options to bring into Manchester United to level us up that are not strikers, I would have picked Cunha and Mbeumo. I said the best, most realistic options on the market to solve the 10 role is Cunha and Mbeumo. They're the two I would have picked. These are two fantastic signings for Manchester United. And in today's video, I'm going to break down why these signings can completely change Manchester United's attack next season. What is Amorim's plan? Who will the striker be? Would it be Gyökeres, Ekitike? Could it be Zirkzee? Why does Zirkzee work so well with these players? So let's talk about Manchester United's plan for Cunha and Mbeumo and just why it works so well. Why everything could change next season. Now, first of all, last year Manchester United's attack was broken. Our attack was appalling last season. The amount of times we actually played okay in some games where we could have been 1-0 up and then we make a silly error, we go 1-0 down and we lose the game and we get a draw. Like, I look at a lot of games and I think we could have won that had we finished our chances. We underperformed at XG more than any other club in the top half of the table. Our issue wasn't creating chances, although that could be improved, and Cunha and Mbeumo will come and improve that. But sometimes it was finishing off. I look at West Ham away, the game that Ten Hag got sacked, we could have been 4-0 up. I look at Wolves at home, how Wolves won that game through a dodgy free kick. I mean, we deserved to win both of those games, and that could have been 6 more points, which would have made a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. But those 6 points, let's say we're in a better place next year, will make a huge difference. There was a lack of consistency in front of goal. I look at both Nottingham Forest games and think Manchester United could have won both games versus Nottingham Forest with the performance they put in. Of course, it's not just about scoring goals when the goalkeeper's making mistakes, when there's definitely issues in terms of midfield progression, there's definitely maybe a need for another wing-back. There's a lot Manchester United need to do. I think we need to sign a striker, a central midfielder, a wing-back and a goalkeeper. You could argue even another centre-back for depth, but it would purely be a depth signing there because we've lost Lindelof and Evans. There's a lot Manchester United need to do, but one of the things that we were massively getting wrong was scoring. That was the biggest problem under Amorim, was scoring goals. And Ruben Amorim has identified this. He's identified that last season his biggest problem was scoring goals, not being clinical. He's looked at two players that are clinical. They've overperformed their XG. They're Premier League proven. They've been doing it in the Premier League for multiple seasons now, not one season wonders. They're 25, 26 years of age. They're in their prime and they're ready to make an impact now. And that's exactly what Manchester United want. In the prime, ready to make an impact now, Premier League proven, the best of the rest. Elite level goal scorers, but also very good creators, very good creative numbers as well. So two very good additions for Manchester United. So we're first going to start about Cunha. First, we're going to start talking about Cunha, and then we're going to start talking about Mbeumo and why they're both two amazing signings for Manchester United. And then we're going to talk about how it changes the attack, Manchester United's attacking plan, and why maybe rivals could start to fear Manchester United again next season. So, in Amorim's 3-4-3, the left side of 10 must drop deep, combine play, drive forward, and be able to carry the ball. Cunha excels at that. Cunha played left 10 for Wolves. The role that he will play at Manchester United is literally the role that gets the best out of him, his best role. He couldn't suit that role any better. There was links to Nico Williams last summer. There'd be links to Gittins last summer. They do not suit what we want to do at all. Gittins had to play more centrally recently for Dortmund. He's been bad. Nico Williams wouldn't suit that. Cunha is the type of guy that suits that because we need inside wingers, not touchline wingers, inside wingers. And you get that in Cunha because he's more of a central player. He's got the flair, the balance, and the ball carrying ability to suit this system to a T. He can shift tempo, he can break lines, he can create chances out of nothing. But what Cunha's got in him is he's got a moment in him. There's some players like Bruno Fernandes, like Marcus Rashford when in form, where even if we're playing bad and it feels like we're never going to score, because if we go back to that Europa League final, we were playing bad, and I felt like we were never going to score in that Europa League final, even if the game was 30 minutes longer. A player like Bruno could just come out with something out of nothing and score, even if he's had a bad game. A player like Rashford could come out of nothing and score, even if he's had a bad game. You see Bellingham do it for Real Madrid in clutch moments. Cunha's got that in his locker, and I think that's such a good trait to have. Even if he's been poor, even if we've been poor, even if we don't look like scoring, he could take the ball, take a good touch, go on a good dribble, set up a good chance. That scores a goal. Score a goal himself. He's a game breaker. He got 15 goals and 16 assists in 33 league games last season, only starting about 28 of 27 of them as well. Got very good numbers. And you've got to remember that Wolves were really underperforming the first half of the season. And Cunha showed up in a Wolves side that wasn't playing well. Look at Phil Foden. If his team's playing bad, he disappears. Bruno Fernandes, Man United playing bad, he shows up. Well, a lot of Manchester United players don't show up when the team's playing bad. Cunha has proven he can show up when his team's bad. Eze, the first half of the season, I'm a huge Eze fan, but he was poor. Crystal Palace were poor. Crystal Palace good second half of the season. Eze, excellent second half of the season. But Cunha did it when his team was bad, and he can carry the ball, and he suits exactly what Ruben Amorim wants in his 10. Exceptional in tight spaces, likes the ball to feet, good under pressure, can break down low blocks, can link with midfield and strikers, can link with Bruno well, got the physical attributes to play in the Premier League. He's proven that. Close control, flair. He's a special player. He's a special Brazilian. And as I said, he can turn half chances into goals, which wins you matches. But let's talk about Mbeumo. Mbeumo is a little bit of a different profile to Cunha. Mbeumo is more of a surprise profile. I feel like you know exactly what you're going to get with Cunha. Whereas Mbeumo, we were like, oh, could we get this? Could we get that? Now, Mbeumo, what I like about him is he's a transition player. He likes to run onto the ball. He will get the ball in transition. Because with losing Rashford and Garnacho, we've lost our transition threat. Players that like to run onto balls. Bruno likes to play a ball to run onto. Zirkzee is really good with players that can run onto it. And Cunha likes ball to feet. Zirkzee likes ball to feet. None of them really like to run onto it. But Mbeumo is both. He likes the ball to feet, but he likes to run onto stuff, and you can play balls into him. Now, Mbeumo, again, is ideal for the right 10 role because he's not a touchline winger. He's someone that almost plays as a right forward. He does his best work there. He's very explosive, he's very fast, and he's very versatile. He can play right wing back, he can play striker. He scored a lot of goals at striker. He played in a 3-4-3 shape, very similar to what Amorim does, and he's a very good tactical fit for the system. One thing you'll notice with both Cunha and Mbeumo is Premier League proven output, tick. Prime age, tick. Physical demands, tick. But also played in 3 at the back systems that were very similar. Now, what Mbeumo has over Cunha is Mbeumo is one of the hardest workers in the Premier League. One of the most distance covered, one of the best pressers, which Ruben Amorim will take a strong liking to. He's got 20 goals and 7 assists, more than any other Premier League player outside the top 6. Elite output, intelligent pressing makes him one of the most complete wide forwards in the Premier League as well. One of the most complete wide forwards in the Premier League. He can do everything. He's up the top for highest expected assists. Work rate, tracks back, presses hard, wins duels, good in transition, can get back, dangerous in the box, good at scoring, overperforming his XG. We underperformed us last season. People are saying Cunha and Mbeumo's goals will drop off next season because they overperform their XG, and Man United are just crap in the final third. Maybe they will, but we were underperforming our XG, so I'd rather bring in players that are overperforming their XG, so when we get chances, we're more likely to score them, because, cool. He created the most expected assists in the Premier League last season at 9.3, which is more than Salah, apparently, which is crazy. He's very dangerous inside the box, very dangerous in tight angles, and he's always reminded me a little bit of Salah at Roma. So let's talk about Manchester United's new attack and new attacking plan, because I think Zirkzee works well with this. Højlund is the player that Manchester United are willing to sell. Højlund, there's a strong possibility that Rasmus Højlund could be sold, if we're being totally honest. It depends on this whole Inter situation, but there's a strong possibility Højlund could be sold. Zirkzee will likely be the central striker, a technical forward that likes to drop deep, link play. Zirkzee's not a natural goal scorer, but Mbeumo and Cunha are natural goal scorers. So when you've got a striker that isn't a natural goal scorer, but more of a creator, more of a player that links up, that's fine as long as your wingers are good goal scorers. Now, our wingers haven't been good goal scorers. Anthony isn't. Ahmad was proven that he's a decent scorer. Garnacho's still young and raw. Rashford's off form. Rashford is a goal scorer. He didn't play. The 2 games he started under Amorim, he scored 3 goals in the Premier League. But Zirkzee with players that are goal scorers, that's where Zirkzee will thrive because he can facilitate that. So he works really well with this front 3. He will complement Mbeumo and Cunha's style. He pulls defenders. He creates space for inside runs. He's a technically really good player. You look at the trio, the pressing, the playmaking, the power, the balance, modern front line, capable of competing at the league's best. I think it's a really good front line. And I know Zirkzee wasn't great at the start of the season, but I felt that we saw this second half of the season how good Zirkzee could be. And we're just going to look at it. Output. We need output. And as I said, Zirkzee might not have output, but with players that do have output around him, I think Zirkzee's good. Zirkzee's a system player. In the right system, in the right environment, with good players around him, I think Zirkzee would be a baller. Cunha, 21 goal contributions in the league. And Mbeumo, 27 goal contributions in the league. If you combine their goal contributions, it's more goals than we scored in the league. They both overperform their XG. They're both clinical. And Amorim has 2 ready-made players for his system that would work well with Zirkzee. You look at our attack last season, it lacked quality, it lacked structure, it lacked chemistry, it lacked balance. That is balanced, it's quality, and it will probably build a bit of chemistry. They're intelligent players, they're good players. Mbeumo and Cunha, already comfortable in back threes, already Premier League use, already used to the intensity. It's not like you're getting a Gittins or Nico Williams that might take a year to adapt and aren't used to it. Eric Ten Hag went for technical players and players abroad, and it didn't work out. We need proven players that are physically able for the league demands, and Amorim bought, and Amorim's identified that. For me, this isn't a risky signing. This is a smart signing, and I'm glad we've done it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.